And he told me, you need to dedicate yourself to one practice. You like the sapo, you stay with the sapo, and you take it fully. But if you're interested in something different, then I'll show you. And I was just like, yeah.
And listen to the cutover.
But he's been showing me the whole time.
Dude.
And I was too immature to see what he was showing me. He was trying to tell me to focus.
Me too, but I also
to be disciplined. Because in discipline and in focus is a strength.
Man, focus.
There's a big spiritual strength in shooting at the target.
Come on!
Psychedelics are the answer. It's what created you. Even Ramdas knew ultimately it's what made him perceive. They're not the answer because they don't cure you. They only show you what you need to cure yourself.
Bingo.
And the problem with all these hippies, the problem with the psychedelic YouTubers and these people, these Instagram coaches, the problem is that they're confusing healing and spirituality with taking a mushroom and having an experience. But then if you pay attention to their lives, I'm me, so I pay attention to my life, and I'm friends with all these psychedelic YouTubers, and I know them, I pay attention to their lives. They're not anything special. They're people that gossip, they're emotional, they're reactionary, myself included. They are not disciplined, they don't have extreme focus. And ultimately, I could send a message to some of these YouTubers and control their emotions with words very easily. If you can control someone's emotions with your words easily, then how strong is their spiritual practice? This is the difference between confusing having a spiritual experience with psychedelics to having a spiritual discipline. The difference is what Ram Dass saw was that having a spiritual flash doesn't mean you are awakened or that you are now on some path. The psychedelics are removing the veil. But now how do you maintain it? Because in a week, 2 weeks, that high is going to fade away and you're going to be in the same position that you were at. You're going to be back to your habits, back to your normal life. And I'm sure anyone that's taken psychedelics in this room, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying something revolutionary. You have taken psychedelics, probably had a spiritual experience, and for 2 weeks you were mind blown until the weight of the world pulled you back. And then you found yourself back in the same position. Maybe you have a crack now. You can see the light a little bit shining through it. But, unless you're taking psychedelics all the time, you're just, normal. You're back to a normal life.
Not a problem.
But
this
is what separates psychedelics from the spiritual practice. Because I don't think comparing is necessarily good, but when I compare someone like Bhavani Baba or these monks in Japan to the psychedelic people I've met, the shamans that I've met, the monks are on a different level. The monks are not reliant on anything. And in fact, they fight any reliance. And this is something that I wasn't ready to hear until now. Psychedelics are helpful, but they're not the path in itself. You know what I mean? They can be great guides. But if you want something, if you want to hold on to it, it requires more. ayahuasca made me quit weed? No, it didn't. Oh man, so the shamans in Peru, they don't like weed. Because weed, like weed takes your dreams away, and it kind of clouds your mind. That's what people say, oh man, I'm fucking sad. Your homie will be like, oh man, just smoke a joint, you'll be alright. You smoke a joint, oh, you feel all better. It takes away your emotions, takes away those feelings. It makes you feel good. So the shamans in Peru, they say weed clouds the visions, so it's counterintuitive to use with ayahuasca. But I used to hide weed in my room. We would have the ayahuasca ceremony, I'd run to my room, and I would roll a joint. Ooh, it was so amazing. So no, it didn't make me quit smoking weed. What made me quit smoking weed was what I'm talking about. And I've had some a relapse. I've smoked a few times this year, but for the most part, I've been completely sober this whole year. When I was in Thailand, I smoked. When I was in Japan, I smoked one time. My mom, I was just with my mom here in Mexico, and I smoked with her. Maybe 20 times this year I smoked. But I find, and I love it. I love the feeling that weed gives me. But I find that, I don't know, it makes me lazy. It makes me sleepy. It makes me, I'm just like, I can't use weed in a healthy way. When I smoke weed, I want to just keep smoking and smoking and smoking. And I want to control myself. I don't want to have to rely on psychedelics to have a spiritual experience. I don't want to have to rely on weed to make me feel creative, to make me feel calm, to make me feel happy, or to chill me out. I want to be in control of my life, of my body, of my soul. And that's not easy work. That's why God blessed us with these plants, because it's not easy. And if we want the help is there. But I'm now entering a new phase where I want control. I want to discipline myself. It's not easy. Psychedelics open the door, discipline keeps it open. Oh, that's so true. That's perfect. Yeah, you said it. You just wrapped up what I've been babbling about for 20 minutes. Discipline will absolve the door into the abyss. Yeah, so true, bro. Also, Jordan, like I said to you, I have this Airbnb that I'm in now until the 14th. So you're welcome to stay here. You can land here next to you just done. And I have another room here. There's 2 rooms. My friend Jose will be here. The other room has 2 beds in it. Me and him will sleep here. And you can sleep in this room that I'm in now. Check out the 14th. And then we'll just go straight to the hotel. I need to stop drinking gin. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol. For me, weed has been my drug of choice. But yeah, I think it's important to look at the things that control us. We need to ask ourselves, do I have control of my life? And if I don't have control of my life, then what does that say about me? I'm weak. I'm weak. And I know I can talk a big spiritual game, but I'm weak. Spiritually, I'm weak. But slowly I'm going to the spiritual gym, which is spiritual practice. That's why they call it a practice, because you kind of consistently do it. I mean, it's like going to the gym. You don't want to go to the gym. But what is the other option? Is work towards becoming stronger, or just let the weakness consume you? And you eat mole yet? Yeah, I had mole tamal yesterday. There's a market directly in front of the place I'm staying right now. I didn't leave today. I've been in bed all day today. Nice nap. Do other countries dislike face tats? I never had anyone say anything to me. Where was I? I was somewhere recently. Oh, Turkey. I was in Turkey and some girl like looked at me and made like a disgusted face. I don't know if that had to do with my tattoos or not, but we don't realize how weak we are until we step into the arena. Yeah, most of us are in the seats, over in the bleachers, watching the arena. We're stuck in the entertainment, just indulging. But yeah, I mean, this is your life. You're in the middle of your life right now. If you're not entering the arena, what are you doing? You have to be the hero of your own story. Or you just kind of die pathetic a little bit, right? I mean, I think of like all the stuff my ancestors must have done to get me to where I'm at. It almost feels like I'm disrespecting the human lineage if I drop the ball. If I just become some blob of self-indulgence. Is that really why I'm here? If my ancestors fight saber-toothed tigers and cross oceans and learn how to weave clothes and make food, learn agriculture and meditate and realize God, all for me to just like sit on my phone scrolling or watching porn or eating shitty-ass food, or am I the result of something so incredible of people that worked hard and it's almost my responsibility to like not be weak. I don't know if you guys feel that, but like I feel that. I feel like it's my responsibility not to let my ancestors down, not to let the human race down, not to let myself down, not to let God down. You know, we have been given this crazy experience of life. If you're not using it for, I mean, hey, maybe eating food and getting fat and watching entertainment is fun. Maybe that's why you're here. But like for me, it's like, no, I don't know. I don't even know what it is I want, but I want something deeper than what's being offered to us. Yeah, please clip it. Clip it and send me these clips. I'll post them on Instagram. I would like to post more clips of me talking for YouTube. We need to treat our bodies as a temple. Yeah, we need to wake up and realize, like, actually, this whole thing is the temple. If God is real, then everything is sacred. Why would you disrespect your body? Why would you disrespect the earth? Why would you disrespect the people in your life? You should be, that's what being a leader is like respect. It's about respect. Respecting life. Because when you respect life, you love life. And when you're loving life, what else do you need? Yeah, there's some asshole over there that's trying to hurt my feelings or make me feel a kind of way, but I respect myself. I don't need your opinion means nothing. I respect you as a human being, but I see that life is this beautiful thing to respect. And maybe you don't see that, that's okay. Your perception of the world has nothing to do with my perception of the world. Any developments with Joe Rogan? No, not yet. Still slowly waiting for my time. Without discipline, you can never truly be free. You know, Mark, I was in Ethiopia and I thought about you. And I downloaded an app to read the Orthodox Bible. And for some reason, I thought about you.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Well, not for some reason. I guess you're like the only person in these chats that is like consistently telling me to look into Orthodoxy. And I started with the Old Testament. It was a little weird. Then I skipped to the Gospels, and I started with the Gospel of John. And I need to go back to continue, but I read something that made me like have to close the book because it felt like me. It felt like it was talking to me. There was one moment where these people are around John, and he's speaking about his ideas of God, his realizations that he's having about God. And the people around him are like, what are you? You're like the Messiah or some prophet or something? And he looks up at them and he says, no, I'm not a prophet. I'm not the Messiah. I am just a voice crying in the wilderness. That's so deep, actually, because what that means is that through pain and through this feeling of isolation that we all feel in our lives, that God is there. That at the end of suffering, at the end of all the pain that we drag ourselves through, there is with us the whole time. You know, when you take suffering to the bitter end, where does it lead you? It leads you to surrender. At some point in your suffering, any of us that have went through depression or that have ever suffered in life, lost somebody that we love, death, divorce, job loss, all these things that we think are so serious, that make our hearts break, that make us suffer in this life. It consumes us. But at some point, it leads to surrender.
Easy enough.
And in that surrender comes clarity. And in that clarity, you find the spiritual dimension. And in that spiritual dimension is an unseen force that all things flow out of. And that's what I thought of when I read that in the Gospel of John. And I'm really excited to continue reading the Gospels. Thoughts on religion being a form of control. Everything in your life is a form of control. Religion itself is not a form of control. Religion itself is a method to wake you up. But there are forces in this material world that want your energy. They want your power. They want your identity so that they can puppeteer how you interpret and experience this world. Because if I control you, I have the power. So if we look at who has the power, you can see that they're using these tactics of manipulation, of control. Religion is one great way to do that. But if you look around, it's the food, it's the entertainment, it's the stuff you consume in the media. It's not just religion. Religion is not a form of control. There's another institution behind it that uses all of these things as a way to control you. But if you're sincere in your religious or spiritual pursuits, you're not controllable. I'm just a voice crying out from the wilderness.
¿Entenderé de nuevo?
Let me read the actual quotes. It's in John 1, 2, 3. It's at the beginning of the gospel. I am a voice crying in the wilderness. So they said to him, "Who are you? We need an answer for those who sent us. What do you say about yourself?" John responds, "I am a voice crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way for God. Prepare the way for the Lord in the wilderness." Those are just different translations. How do I go to the next one? John 1:2-4.
It will be done.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Bible, I don't know why I acted like I knew what was in the Bible. My whole life, because I'm raised in a Christian society, I have like some vague idea of the stories. You know, they teach us in school and your family, but I never read the Bible. So like, my opinion of it was never a good one, but I had such a strong opinion on it my whole life. And it's so stupid because when I began reading the Gospels, which I'm still not even probably 10% through, I was like, oh my God, like this is there's potency here. But for me, to get back to my skeptical side, is I have trouble with the miracles of Jesus and Jesus being the only way. I don't think Jesus is the only way. I don't believe Jesus resurrected, walked on water, was born of a virgin, and all this stuff. You find a lot of these myths repeated in other religions. The Buddha was said to have a miraculous birth. He was said to have taken 7 steps at the time of his birth, and also people came to give gifts because there was some knowledge that a prophet was going to be born. Like a lot of the similar things. So this says 2 things to me. It says that these stories are repetitions of ancient stories that are just being repurposed as time goes on. Or it says that God works in this way, that maybe these patterns are just the way that God works, which I'm happy with. That's a possibility, that maybe like these patterns are just a part of the divine order. But that would mean that Jesus isn't the only one. And I think God reveals himself at certain times to certain people, and in that moment he is the one for that group of people, or for that era in time. But I think God can't be limited. I think whether you believe in Jesus or don't believe in Jesus, or if you practice Buddhism or Hinduism, I think God accepts you in any way that you come to him. Who do you think God is if all is consciousness? Asking who God is like asking where is the universe? Where is the universe? Can you point to it somewhere? Is it here? Is it there? It's not the right question. God is. It has no name, it has no form, it has no idea. Anytime we try to say what it is, it takes away what it is. Will you still take ayahuasca? Yeah, maybe again in my life, but like...
with ease.
No. I'm more interested in my own body. meditating, yoga. Not to be too bad, but climate change is destroying the duration of the season for me at the moment. Yeah. Hey, it's all temporary. You're gonna die, I'm gonna die, everything around you is gonna die. Ride the wave. We can't stop death. Whether the universe or the Earth is changing its climates or it's not, the end
It will be done.
is still the same. We all know how the story ends. The main difference between religion and philosophy is religion is based on the word of God, meaning some dude said God told him blah blah blah. Philosophy is based on thought. Well, religion is a structure for philosophy. Religion is a box for philosophical aroma to come off of it. It's not like some guy said this, so it becomes religion. Religion is philosophy. It just needs to be structured in a story because that's the way that it's able to be passed down. Most people throughout history were illiterate. They didn't know how to read or write. So you need to make these stories so that it can be passed down. It needs to be in this structure. But when you break down the structure, it's philosophy. Are you in a relationship, and what do they think of your spiritual journey? No, I'm not in a relationship. I haven't had a girlfriend in a very, very long time. I would like a girlfriend, but I'm just not in a point of my life where I think I can have a girlfriend.
Not a problem.
But I would really like to have a family. I don't know if there's ever a right moment, but I feel like I have so much to do before I get there, before I feel like I can give myself to somebody. Religion is an attempt to synthesize metaphysical assumptions. Well, you said it better than I could. What do you think the purpose of life is then? Oh man, that's tough. I think God is doing something to us. I don't know. But then that makes the next question, why would God make a creature in which he needs to put through an experience?
Yes.
I'm not sure, but it feels like we are being put through a set of challenges, a set of sufferings. Our whole life seems to be a classroom. I don't know what we're graduating to, but my intuition says we're in class right now. Classroom or prison? It's the way you see it becomes. You want to see it as a prison? Maybe it is. I don't know. But I'm free. Even if you lock me in a prison, I'm free. There's no prison for me. The point is to get out, liberate yourself. Ultimate God is not here. Why would she be? This place is bad, too many bad things, and it's only getting worse.
Insurgents, culture, imperial.
I don't know if there's anywhere to go.
What do you want?
I actually think it's about releasing all of these ideas of good and bad and just being here in the moment. Is it bad where you're at right now? You're listening, hanging out with me. You're probably somewhere comfortable.
With ease.
Ah, you have returned.
Bad moments come,
Are you
bad
ready to spill
moments go.
blood on the
Good
arena?
moments come, good moments go. But if you're just strong in the moment, it's okay usually.
Some of my friends have
The Bible says the devil is the god of this world.
Well, who says you
The Bible
can't
says
have
that the
them
devil
all?
is
Here, with 5 endless
God
avenues
appointed to be the
excite
judge.
is my friend of yours, the magnificent
like in the story of Job,
Mage.
where God and the devil was like, I don't know if Job is actually as devoted as he says he is. And God says, I think he is actually. I think he is sincere. And the devil says, okay, I bet you, we'll see. Let me tempt him and test him and see how he handles it. Let's see how strong his devotion is. And all this suffering happened to Job. He lost his family, his crops, his skin was boiled, bumps and pain. And he stayed faithful the whole time.
I stand ready.
So I think as long as we remain faithful through the challenging times, it's all okay. Everything's okay. In the face of the infinite, eternal reality, the universe in which holds us, everything's okay. It's eternal. The bad moment is a temporary experience. Job, the story of Job has been one that's like haunted me since I was a kid. I don't know why. I have this memory. My dad, when I was really young, I don't really know him so well these days. I probably haven't seen him in years, talked to him in years. But when I was really little, I remember being in the back seat of the car, and he was kind of going through a religious exploration. And I remember them telling me, him and this girl, that Revelation was real. And I was like, oh my God, you mean to tell me like the earth is gonna open and demons are gonna come and like that's how the end of the world is gonna be? Like, Jesus, terrified me. I remember having like nightmares about it and like just not being able to think of anything else. Like, this is how it's gonna end? Like that's just scary that that's real. And I remember him talking about the story of Job. And we were driving and there was a advertisement sign, like a big billboard, and it said something like, you need a job? And I remember my dad saying, Job, pointing at it and saying, Job, J-O-B. And my whole life, I don't know why, like a song stuck in my head, that's always haunted me, echoed inside my mind. The story of Job, my dad saying, J-O-B. Who can say why some of these moments in our lives stick with us? But this was one of those weird ones that stuck with us. And the story of Job is profound because it's basically saying as long as you have faith, that's all you need. It's about recognizing that this physical world is a contract to suffering. It's a contract to be tempted. This is a world where if you want to be tempted, have at it. This is the buffet. But if you're interested, then pay attention because there's something deeper happening that's more fulfilling than the temptations. I don't think the devil is some evil demon that's trying to like steal your soul or kill you or something. I think the devil is who God appointed to be the judge. This person lived like this. They chose to live like this. The next experience is going to be like this. I don't know if it's going to be a punishment or not, but like the Hindus say, when it comes to reincarnation, you need to take a life that matches your previous experience. If you are a gluttonous person, your consciousness is in a gluttonous state of awareness. So you're going to take a body that needs to fulfill
What you got
state
for
of
me this
consciousness. And I think the devil is just the one that God has appointed to be the judge. So as long as you're strong, he's the accuser, not the judge.
What?
It's a metaphor. Do you feel that practicing gratitude attracts more good things into our life? I think it's like this. I think it's like if you want to buy a specific type of car, when you're driving on the road, all of a sudden you see the car everywhere. Oh shit, there it is right there. Or when you're in love, all of a sudden everything is lovely. So I think when we practice being grateful and we practice gratitude, we are enter into an awareness where grace can unfold, where gratitude can unfold, where we are just seeing what's in front of us. Because I think gratitude is always there. There's always something to be grateful for. But maybe we're just distracted, we don't see it. But when we're practicing gratitude, it's like the car on the road. You begin to be grateful for things all over the place. This place is an opportunity to serve. Yeah, I mean, really, that's all this place is. This is the realm of service. Are you going to serve yourself? Are you going to serve others? It's impossible to escape the relationship of service in this body that we're in. Do some of the places carry spiritual energy? Alan Watts said the only Zen, the only spirituality that you're going to find on a mountaintop is the spirituality that you carry with you. But I do think some places have a sacred energy. I think some places have a sacred energy, yeah. I mean, I guess if we fully understood what this world was, everywhere would be sacred. You would see it everywhere. But I think where special things happen, it marks that place, it check marks that place, like in a video game, as being a special place. The place where Jesus was born, the place where Jesus was crucified, Vrindavan where Krishna walked. Graceland, where Elvis was. These places, the universe has proclaimed them as being sacred places. You visited where Jesus lived? Yeah, I've been to Bethlehem, I've been to Jerusalem.
This contest is a great place, and I have just a plan for months.
I've definitely come a long way,
With ease.
I remember laughing in the face of anyone that believed in God. Show me your God. Everyone would come up short. And I've always been able to I don't know, maybe it's because astrology is real. I'm a Gemini. Communication is inherently built into my soul. But I've always been able to corner religious people into their beliefs. You just have them speak and they sound dumb most of the time. You can pick it apart very easily. Okay, where are you left with? Show me your God.
Yes?
Why is faith good? I remember always saying that. because at the end of their argument, they would say, I just have faith. Okay, well, why is faith good? Why is having faith in something you can't prove good? And I thought that for a long time. But now I understand faith. I can't explain the mystery of this universe or time and how time is constantly changing, yet somehow eternal. But I have faith that there's something bigger than me, something bigger than my life, something bigger than my ideas, that my awareness comes from some bigger awareness. Oh yeah, I watched that Dawkins and Peterson thing, and it was kind of hard to watch. I mean, I would love to talk to Dawkins. I emailed him a couple times trying to get him on the podcast. I stand because I would love to have a conversation with him, a philosophical conversation. But he is just like, yeah, he did kind of make Jordan Peterson seem kind of rambly. I like Dawkins. He was like a god to me in my teenage years. He helped me understand evolution. He helped me get into philosophy. I think if I talked to Dawkins, I could have a great conversation with him. I got up to the point of getting his assistant's email, but I emailed the assistant and I didn't get anything back. What do you think about Trump's victory and RFK Jr.'s plan to legalize psychedelics in the U.S. to make America healthy again?
With ease.
I think it's okay. You know, it seems like the people of the United States have democratically chosen the leader they think is the best, and I respect the decision of my country. You know, I'm not really one to care much about politics. I've been alive long enough to know it doesn't really affect me, really. I mean, unless it's something big like COVID and they shut the country down, whether it was George Bush or Obama, we've been in endless wars. I had to pay the same amount in taxes. Honestly, the worst it's been is under Biden. Everything is very expensive. The Biden administration has been very war-hungry. They've been very manipulative as far as like identity goes. They're constantly wanting to talk about race and gender. I think like when I was growing up, it was all about dropping labels. Like, you can't label me. I don't know if any of you guys were born in the 90s, that was like the theme of the 90s. Like, talk to the hand, you cannot label me, I'm beyond your labels. And now, in like the modern times, it's like totally taking as many labels as you can, you know? I'm not interested in who you have sex with. I'm not interested in what race you are. If you're a cool person, that's all that matters to me. You know, like it's 2024. Why are we still talking about race, who people have sex with? I don't think it's a big deal. I think if the media didn't make it a big deal, in normal life, I don't know any racist people. I don't know anyone that cares who people have sex with. But it seems like this at the Biden administration and the Democratic Party, they like have such a focus on this. And it's because it makes people angry and they're trying to control our emotions. And it's so weird, you know, like when I was growing up, I was never really about politics, and I actually have never voted. And maybe that's offensive to some people, but yeah, I've never voted. But if I would have voted, I would have voted Democrat. My family has always voted Democrat. But I feel like the Democrats are so extreme, the liberals have become so extreme, that the Republicans and the conservatives are offering some sort of like almost some return to tradition. And I feel like in this time of chaos and craziness, that like people are craving to return back a little bit to like something normal, something traditional, something that's American, something that we can recognize. Because things are changing so quick, and I think that's why all these states were red. I think that's why everyone voted for Trump and came out. And even like Michigan, where I'm from, has never been a Republican state, a red state. But it was like fully red this time. The whole map, the whole map. There was no red states, only blue cities. And I mean, I think politics in general is pretty insufferable and stupid, and meant to get us into war, steal our money, control us. I don't think it really benefits any of us normal people in the scheme of it. I think this whole system functions the way that it is functioning intentionally. But I can see and understand why people are shifting to the conservative side, where before most people, at least in my life, were more liberal, progressive. And now, like, a lot of my friends are like, leaning the other way. We're like, we gotta go back a little bit. We're moving too fast in the wrong direction. Like, do we really need to talk about who's using what bathroom and stuff? Like, there's real issues on this planet, and neither side is really campaigning for these real issues. And to me, that says that they're trying to manipulate us into fighting with each other. Why aren't we talking about the real issues? Right closer to the center now. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Judy, that's how I feel too. Like, it doesn't really matter. You vote for Coke or you vote for Pepsi. At the end of the day, it's just a sugary drink. At the end of the day, America is going to function the way it's meant to function because there's so much money, power, that they're not going to let some person come in and fuck it all up. This thing is like it runs deeper than who the president is.
Yes.
Although I'm going to tell you, like, I didn't think it was possible for Trump to win. I didn't think that with Hillary, and I was so surprised when Trump won. And this time I was like, oh, for sure, man. Let's try to blow his head off on TV. Could you imagine if they would have shot Trump in that rally? We would have watched his head explode on TV. The guy behind him died. I didn't think it was possible that he was going to win. I was like, there's no way. There's so much power, money, energy to making sure he doesn't win. We're going to see what happens. I don't know if I think he's going to make it out.